Hi everyone, and welcome to the Terrordrome Reign of the Legends development video log number 7. I'm Mark Icheve from Hurricane Studio, and I'm giving you the latest news. It has been over half a year since our last vlog, and 2024 has reached us, so with a little bit of delay, we wish everyone a happy new year from the team. Lots of progress has been accomplished in the last months as we are polishing and developing the last aspects of the game. These mainly include stages overhaul, characters AI, gameplay adjustments, and sound designs. So let's start with the stages details. While we were busy putting love and attention to all of our characters, players had noticed and sometimes criticized that our stages were lacking animation and life. We totally agreed with these comments, and it was something we wanted to address after we would be satisfied enough with our overall gameplay. So while we were revisiting all our stages and refining the lightings and the mood, we added a few animated elements in them. It was also the opportunity to add cues that would tell a story and create a better context. Dr. Jekyll's laboratory, for example, has now cages with lab rats that kind of explain what Jekyll is up to with his researches and what kind of man he is with the style of his desk. The Erase Institute warehouse, a storage branch of the Museum and Research Foundation and owned by Dracula's empire, is now watched by a security guard. The design of this guard is based on one of our most loyal and Patreon fans, Jab Jab himself. One of the biggest updates is Bloody Mary's stage with new elements and living creatures that populates the imaginary parallel world Mary has created for herself based on her memories coming from her past life. Ghostly figures and blood creatures now populate Mary's stage. Some of them spectate at the fight while others just roam around flying in circle. As we're testing every character's gameplay and chasing bugs and loops, we're also redefining some attacks and reactions in order to get an even deeper gameplay experience. Those changes are subtle but makes a big difference when it comes to strategies and play style. The idea is to have a game that casual players can be comfortable with while still performing cool moves, and that also welcomes more hardcore type of players who can dive deeper and create devastating sequences of attacks and take the game to a new level of complexity. During the last vlog, we shared a possible look as to what our arcade mode beginnings and endings may look like. But due to time constraints and the size of our team, we have made the decision to cut back on these animatic scenes and replace them with images, text, and music. Those who have played our previous game, Terrordrome Rise of the Boogeymen, will know how we did for that game. The arcade mode in Reign of the Legends will work in a similar way and have an intro and outro for each character that takes an alternate path from the main story, kind of like alternate realities if things would have gone a different way with different outcomes for each characters. As said previously at the start of this video, we have been taking up most of our time finishing up content and polishing what we have now. The reason for this is because we want to release the game this very year with the initial roster of 12 characters with 15 stages versus modes online and offline, arcade mode, tutorial, and training mode. We have mentioned before we would be adding a story mode and 3 more story-related playable characters, but due to the limited time we have this year, we took the decision to work on this content after the official launch on Steam and Epic, and we plan on releasing this content at a later date as a free update. This will give us the time to fully commit to the quality of the main content by having 2 different milestones. One will focus on the basic gameplay, while the other to concentrate on the main story and the best way to tell it. Lastly, our last character. The Invisible Man is finally fully developed and integrated. Although we're still in the playtesting phase, he already proves to be a solid adversary with tricks involving his invisibility power and strong skills in knife wielding. The last thing he needs is his own trailer before we can release him to the public. So without further waiting, here's a glimpse of his gameplay.
I know all your weaknesses.
style is a combination of military knife combat and the ability to turn invisible by tuning in into a different frequency of our reality inhabited by oddly creatures. He can then grab them, turn visible, and importing these creatures using them as attacks for a short amount of time before they disintegrate. Invisible Man players can be played in different style, either fully visible using all his knife-based arsenal, play the invisibility card to mess with the opponent, or use a strategic use of both style to take advantage of the other side creatures. "2024 is the year Reign of the Legends is finally getting out of 4 years of early access. It's been a long and rocky trip, but we are excited to be on our final stretch. As you can see, we have been working non-stop to bring this fighting game to life the very best way we can, despite all the setbacks and against all odds. We would also like to thank you for staying with us through the majority of our development cycle, as none of this would have been possible without people supporting us like you. Thanks for watching this video. We hope you have a good year and stay tuned for more infos on this channel.